Hello everyone, my name is General Fancy Pants, and welcome back to Secret Files Tunguska. When we last left off, we were we escaped that room, and I don't really know if it would be escaped because we were just knocked out basically and just left there. And we kind of did a lot. We explored a lot, and I think, let's see, where was I in the game? I can't quite remember. Oh, that's right, we went to Olaf's house. That's right. And we got some information on him. And yeah, so let's see if there's any new journal entries in their diary. Yep, the bugging operation. So that's the last thing we did, basically. Just seeing if there's anything more in here. Nina was able to record a telephone conversation of Oleg, just like in the email that Nina's father wrote to Oleg. The subject of the conversation is Tunguska, or Tunguska as they call it. Maybe Max will know more about it. Yep. Okay, so let's head into the museum because we need to see Max. Alright, Max's office was over here.
Hello? Can I interrupt for a moment?
You're not interrupting. On the contrary. Have you heard from your father?
No, unfortunately not. And last night I was attacked.
Attacked? Are you hurt?
No, nothing to worry about. But it must be because of something important. Do you really have no idea what it could be?
No, He's been under a lot of stress in the last few days, but that's happened before. Looking back, there are plenty of ways to interpret it, but especially conspicuous? No, not really.
That's a shame. Yesterday evening you offered me your help. Does the offer still stand?
But of course. My name is Max, by the way.
Nina. But you know that, don't you?
So, ask away.
I could have sworn they introduced each other the other day, but maybe not. Alright, let's go through some of these conversation items. Let's start with Tunguska.
In the last few hours, I've heard the name Tunguska several times. Do you know anything about it?
Do you mean that Tunguska catastrophe from 1908?
Yes, could be.
At the beginning of the last century, something exploded there. The destruction must have been enormous, but even today nobody really knows what happened back then. Your father once took part in an expedition to Tunguska, but you probably know that, don't you?
We never really spoke much about what he used to do. After my mother's death, he never wanted to speak about his work in Russia anymore.
Oh, I didn't know. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It was a long time ago. She was killed in a traffic accident. Shortly after that, we came to Germany. I think my father simply wanted to leave all of that behind him.
And your father never spoke about his work in Russia? Didn't you ever ask him?
No. He asked me never to ask him again, and I kept my word, despite being very interested at times.
Well, I know a little more about it. In 1908, an unidentified object went down over the Siberian taiga. A huge area was completely destroyed by the shockwave and a wall of fire. The shepherds who lived there, the so-called Evenk, were either hurled through the air or burnt. There were hardly any survivors to witness anything. Several expeditions were started to find out the cause of this catastrophe, but despite all their efforts, no clues or any evidence was found that was at all helpful. And in time, several fantastic theories arose, from a meteorite colliding with Earth, to the appearance of an unknown type of energy, to the explosion of a spaceship. And off the top of my head, that is about everything that I can tell you on the subject. But somewhere in the archive, I still have a few articles over the Tunguska phenomenon lying around. Shall I go and get them?
Yes, that would be sweet of you. Oleg spoke about it, and I read one of my father's mails to him. There was also something about it in there. Maybe it will bring me a little further.
Okay, I just have to get a few small things done here, and then I'll have a look around the archive.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so we got a little bit more background on Tunguska. I'm going to call it Tunguska because that's what they call it, but I have heard it called Tunguska in the game. Anyway, what about Eddie?
Yesterday evening, Eddie was mumbling something about people in black robes. I didn't take him very seriously at first, because his description was, let's say, a little strange. But I spoke to a little girl today who saw something similar last night. She even took a photo of the men in black robes. Unfortunately, there is not very much to see, but I'll certainly speak to Eddie about it again. Do you know where I can find him?
No, I have no idea. I haven't seen him all day. He's probably crept away somewhere quiet to think about it all.
You mean he's drinking again?
Yes, I'm afraid so. Unless...
Unless what?
Oh, nothing.
Nothing? Come on out with it, tell me.
Well, if those strange men in black noticed that he was watching them...
You mean they came back?
I don't know. At the moment, I have no idea what is actually happening here.
Well, this is something we have in common.
Okay. The diadem? Sorry, I was just thinking about the voice kind of changes every once in a while, and I'm wondering if that's a glitch or if it's on purpose where she's going more into her what she's thinking, and that's what is going on the screen is her thoughts, and then when the voice changes, it's her actual like just speaking voice. Anyway, the diadem?
I found this piece of paper amongst my father's records. Does it tell you anything?
LA 60 AK19 AL? That sounds like one of our exhibits. What about it?
No idea. I was hoping that you could tell me that.
Not spontaneously, but I can go and get the item. The note with the description of the diadem is missing, but you just had it in your hand. Well, I don't know any more about it either.
Thanks a lot. Can I take my time to have a look at it?
Of course, but please don't forget to put it back later. Otherwise your father will tear my head off.
If he still can.
Hey, stop thinking like that. We'll find him, I promise.
Yes, hopefully. There must be an important reason why Daddy kept a piece of paper with the description of the diadem at home. But what? And what is that about the true princess? He used to call me that sometimes. Is it a message to me that I should be able to understand somehow? Think, Nina. Think quickly.
Yeah, that's her internal. Okay. That's her internal thought process. That makes more sense now. Oleg?
Does the name Oleg Kambursky say anything to you?
Kambursky? Oleg Kambursky? No, nothing. Should it?
Unfortunately, I don't exactly know that either.
Okay.
The things out of the archive about Tunguska.
Yes, I'll get going now. But it could take a while until I've sorted through the records.
No problem. I'll wait here.
Alright, so he's leaving. Now it's time to start rummaging around his office. Let's start with this totem.
Looks kind of threatening. That red eye on the totem seems to be following me everywhere I go. I don't even believe in magic and all that stuff, but I find it creepy anyway.
Okay, so there's a red eye on there. I wonder if we can take that.
If I swipe things from Max's office, he certainly won't keep helping me, but I'd like to get rid of this eye.
Okay, how about the refrigerator?
On the outside, it seems totally normal, but on the inside, it's ice cold. Let's see what we find here.
Alright, looks like an acid bottle and a cement bag.
The label is illegible, but judging from the skull and the other symbols, it must be extremely corrosive.
Interesting, interesting. And the cement?
Plaster of Paris. The text says to add water and vegetable oil and mix to achieve the desired consistency.
Okay. We know what plaster of Paris is. So let's keep exploring here. It looks like that's all there is? That can't be right. So really all that's left is just to figure out how to get this eye out. And I can't remember where we saw that the princess the little princess, I think was what she called it, but There's something about different colors like red, green, and blue or something like that. And there's a red eye right there. And then we have our little stone with a gem in it. I wonder if this is all kind of coming together with these gems and then the diadem as well. Let's take a look at that diadem.
There are 3 stones missing out of the diadem. It looks rather unspectacular, but it seems to be important for my father. I should find out why.
Alright. Let's see if we can't figure out how to get this eye out. Maybe we can just pry it out with the spoke.
So the spoke has now broken off, but that eye now can no longer look at me in that evil way. I can only hope that Max doesn't notice.
He probably won't. Alright, so there's a red glass bead.
A red glass bead. At least, I think it's glass.
Okay, could just be a gemstone of some type too, I suppose. Alright, is there anything else in Dad's office? I don't think so, but let's try something here. We have this acid. And let's try and see if we can maybe dissolve the rock around that. It looks like a stone in the rock. So let's see if we can combine that.
I'll carefully pour the acid over the stone. The acid is doing its work admirably. The stone is beginning to corrode. I'll have to take it out of the acid at the right moment, otherwise the inclusion will go the same way as the rest of the stone.
And sure enough, we got a amethyst.
The light is refracted 1,000 times in the amethyst. It's beautiful. No idea why my father didn't remove it from its ugly stone encasement a long time ago.
I don't know, maybe you just like the look of the stone around the amethyst, who knows. But let's see, let's go back into, I guess, I don't know, Dad's office? Let's take a look at this note.
There's a number on this note. LA60AK19AL. Under that, there's a description of the diadem that was probably robbed from an Oriental princess about 200 years ago. Originally, the 3 largest gemstones in the world had been incorporated into this diadem. On the left, an emerald. On the right, a ruby. And in the middle, an amethyst. My father wrote something on the back. The diadem will illuminate the real princess, and she will realize that money is not the greatest treasure.
Okay, so it did bring up a ruby, an amethyst, and shoot, I cannot remember the other one, but an emerald. So we have a ruby right here. This is, or at least what could be considered a ruby, this red glass bead. We have our amethyst, so now we just need an emerald. And I don't have any faintest idea of how to get that emerald. I was hoping that maybe there'd be something in here, but it doesn't seem like anything has really changed in here at all. So I guess, let's see, what else can we do? Just trying to think of what we have in our that we can use that would be of any use to us. Because I don't have the foggiest. We do have some cement here, and usually I don't know what this would be good for, but cement and water, or water is needed to make cement. Can we combine these two? Alright, so now we have putty. Oh, putty. Okay, so it's not cement. That's right, because it's plaster of Paris, which is different than cement. Okay, that's right. So now we have putty. Can we, like, use the putty to attach the gems to the diadem? No, but we can.
That thing doesn't fit in there properly. It keeps falling out.
Okay, so what about that and
I
that?
hope I know what I'm doing. That diadem has now been robbed of any beauty it once had.
That's too bad. But that gives us a means of uh, attaching our gemstones to it.
Yes, that should hold.
And that.
Great! It fits!
Perfect. So now we just need the emerald part, which, where that will be, I have no clue, but we'll find out. We'll figure this out. Let's see if there's something in here that we can do. Anything in here
That's
that
an
might...
escape plan with all of the rooms in the museum. It's not up to date, considering a few of the rooms have been blocked.
Okay, so we've heard all that. Uh, Man, I don't know. This is tricky. This game is a little bit more uh, obscure, it seems like, than some of the previous adventure games I've played. The puzzles, it's not as what's the word, direct or obvious what you need to do. At least to me anyway, but again, I'm not exactly the best adventure gamer in the world. Let's see, what else can we do? Let's see if there's anything that we missed in here. I'm going to use the search scene. Search the Tyrannosaurus, the plan, and what? There was something over here. The lamp.
It brings a little illumination into the darkness.
Okay. Well, there was mention in this note about illumination that once all these stones are in the diadem, it will illuminate the real princess. Let's see if we can combine these.
Wasn't there something on the note belonging to the diadem about illumination? Then let's see if that makes me any brighter. Nope, nothing happens.
Alright, so, because we don't have the emerald yet, that's probably why. We don't have all the pieces to the puzzle. Man, where... Where in the heck would I get an emerald? An emerald is green. And maybe we have to make our own emerald. Can we... Let's see, we have yellow and blue from the sunglasses. Can we like somehow use the yellow shard on the sunglasses?
I've laid both lenses over each other. They now have a green shimmer.
So yellow and blue makes green, and I guess that's our emerald right there. I guess that kind of makes sense.
I hope that thing is in the right position. As soon as the putty has dried, I'll only be able to get it off with brute force.
So now we technically have our 3 stones in there, in the diadem. Now let's see what happens.
Whether I'll get any brighter? Wow, it works!
Okay, and it's glowing right on the plan. Let's check that out. It's kind of cool though.
Somebody seems to have marked one of the rooms with invisible ink, and it has just been revealed by the colored light beam. I have no idea where this room 8 is located exactly because there's no map key. Although it seems to be one of the rooms that are being renovated.
Okay, so we have a number 8 right here. And yeah, I guess let's go check that room out. Or not?
Wow, not bad. I only go away for a few minutes and you transform the museum into a light show.
Oh, I'm sorry, but
That's okay. But what is all this stuff and what does it mean?
I don't exactly know either. But if this riddle really comes from my father, Then he must have had an extremely good reason for the whole effort.
Have you found anything out yet?
I'm still working on it. And you?
Alright, let's see what he's found out about Tunguska.
Is there anything new on the subject of Tunguska?
Not a lot. Here, I found these 2 articles.
Okay, so we have a couple articles to read. How about room 8?
The light beam has changed the color of the escape plan on the wall. A room with the number 8 seems to be highlighted. Is that one of the rooms that is currently being renovated?
Yes, and they've been renovating it for ages. The complete substance of this house is unfortunately no longer the best, and the workers are having a lot of problems completing the job.
Was there anything special in that room?
Well, no, not really. All of the exhibits from that room are currently stored in my office. Are you looking for something specific?
If only I knew.
We can go straight to my office. Maybe you'll find something there to help you out.
Okay.
Come on into my office and we'll have a look at the exhibits from room 8. Have a look around. All these things are out of the room that's being renovated.
Okay, so we can now kind of rummage around his room again, but I think I'm going to do that in the next episode. So next time we will search Max's office and hopefully find something that will help us unravel this mystery. So I'll see you guys next time on Secret Files Tunguska. Until then.